coming in under 8,400 pounds dry and right around 1,300 pounds for tongue weight. This one right here is a pretty good option if you're looking for a half-ton towable fifth wheel that is friendly for the family. Folks, this is the 2021 Arctic Wolf 287BH. So why the 287BH? Well, for a lot of people, they're looking for something that can haul the family, but you want something that is easier to tow, right? And at first glance, a fifth wheel may not seem easier to tow than a travel trailer simply because of size, because as you can see, we have huge ceilings. But what I'm going to tell you is that if you haven't towed either before, everyone will agree that a fifth wheel just tows better than a travel trailer because you don't get the sway behind you. And so that's really what brought about this floor plan, right? They tried to make it half-ton towable. Now, of course, it will depend on the half-ton and how much weight you put in here. If you do a half-ton, I mean, again, you have to do the math because it will be really close to maxing it out, as pretty much every fifth wheel will, unless it's just a super short design. But again, this is an excellent option. For sure, a 3/4 ton, no problem. As soon as you walk in the door, take a look at that pantry, folks. You have huge pantry space in here, plenty of shelving, couple extra coat racks, which I like. So if you want to, hang your jackets up in here instead of out here, you can. So you do have a couple different options based upon where you want to hang stuff up. I know my wife probably wouldn't want stuff hanging here where everyone can see it unless it's just the two of us, or, again, you have the kiddos and, you just need space, right? You just need a place to put it. That is available to you. Now, coming right around to the side is our entertainment center. I love that this is directly across from the seating, right where you would want it. You can see you have nice comfy sofa right there, as well as the U-shaped dinette. So pretty much no matter where you're sitting here in the slide, you'll have a good view to the TV. You have that multimedia center right down underneath it. That, of course, does have an HDMI port on there. It is also Bluetooth capable, plus the fireplace underneath not only kind of creates a good ambiance in here, but also that is a decent space heater. Now, this is a pretty big space, so it probably won't do a ton. But if you are sitting, again, kind of in this sofa or, in this little U-dinette, you will, probably will raise it a few degrees, make it a little bit more comfortable in here for you. You also have storage right up top, and that kind of continues all the way across the kitchen. You can see the fluted glass. I do like that look. I like the wood color in here as well. That they didn't go like as light as a lot of manufacturers did, but it's also not that deep dark brown that we've seen. It's kind of somewhere in between. It's almost has like a brownish yellowish tint to it. But honestly, when you're inside it, it is really pretty. I think they did a great job. Right underneath that, this is a new one to the industry for me, and that is the Canon refrigerator. Let's see, is this one 12 volt? I'm gonna guess it is. It sure looks like it. Bear with me a second here, folks. Let's see what we have. We have a frost-free refrigerator freezer. That doesn't tell me a whole lot of anything, does it, Aaron?
Apparently not.
Let's see what we got here. 10.4 cubic foot. So most of your 12 volts are 10.7. So a little bit smaller, but that's okay. It is 12 volt. There it is. So yes, this is going to be your 12 volt refrigerator, folks. It is not going to run off propane. 12 volt only, and that is becoming very common in the industry. I do like the front panels. It actually matches the sink, which we'll see in a second, but it's like that new, kind of like the black stainless steel, right? A little more of a gunmetal color. I think that's really sharp. I wish they would have matched the hood to it, because they kind of go with like your standard stainless there, which I don't really love the crossing in between. But right over here, it brings it back in because, as I said, that is the sink, kind of that same color. I do love the fact it's an apron front on here too, just kind of bringing in some of those residential trends. You have the hand sanitizing station is what they say, aka soap dispenser, right? But that is built in, which is kind of nice. Or if you want, you can do lotion too, right? Some people do lotion, so after you're done washing dishes, you can just lotion up your hands to not all dry. Either way, kind of nice to have it. High-rise faucet right here, and that does blend in very well, again, with the sink and the refrigerator. Now, over to the side is the 3-burner recessed cooktop with the glass cover, just folds up and back, super simple and easy to use. Has a spark igniter for both the cooktop as well as the oven. It is a Greystone unit, plus you get the drawer underneath for some added space, and You get this little guy right back here, which is pretty handy. I kind of like this. This was a, an RV design that just works. All they simply did is put magnets on here, and you'll see, they have the metal strips on the back. But that way you have a cutting board, and it's nice and big, and it stows away super easily. Again, I think that was just a pretty good design on their behalf. Microwave right up top, as we already talked about, you have the storage all the way across. Storage underneath the sink. Not quite as much as I would like. I understand because they had to put drawers in here, but definitely not putting a trash can there. That's probably going to be, if I have to have, one big flaw, it's the only place I really have to put my trash can is in the pantry. Excuse me. I know a lot of people will do that at home. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is close to the door. I guess you have that going for you. As far as drawer space, you see the divider right up top for all of your flatware. A couple more drawers underneath. Plenty of space there for you. USB ports as well. Coming back into the bunk room. I'm actually going to get this up and out of the way a second for us here, Aaron, but you'll see nice big beds. I mean, these are like queen size beds up here, folks. You want to talk about having plenty of room. This is it. 300-pound weight capacity. I guess I wish I would have liked to have seen the top reinforced a little bit more just because it is such a big bed that I'd love to be able to get 2 adults up there. And I don't know about you folks watching, but, I'm taking over 2/3 of that capacity. There's just no way I'm going to be able to get myself and my wife in one of these beds without overloading it. But they are very large, so if you have a big teenager or, you have adults that just like to spread out, this is a good bed to do it. Windows top and bottom. You also have electrical outlets top and bottom, plus USB ports. You can charge all the electronic devices, plug everything in, good to go. Lights all over the place, and excellent storage underneath. Now, I do like that because there's enough room for a clothes hamper. So if you want to put, like a small laundry basket down there, you can throw dirty clothes right in there. As for clean clothes, you'll see you have a hanging rod across the top plus good shelf space right down underneath. And that's really all you can ask for in a bunk room when it comes to storage. That combo right there, I mean, that's plenty of clothes for 2 people. Then we take a look at the slide out itself. Of course, because this is a Cherokee product, you get the zebra shades. This is another one of those things that Cherokee has that I really like. It just kind of lets you control the amount of light that you want to bring in nice and easily. If you do it too fast, you might have a seizure just because from the light differential there. But again, I do like the design. All the times I've used them, they work really darn well. I haven't had any issues where, it's too much tension or anything like that, or they get bound up. They seem to just be fairly functional. Right up top, I like this light fixture too. You kind of have the bubble glass. I know my wife really likes that look. We have some shades like that in our house, actually. So again, they're following some of those big residential trends, which I love. Right down underneath, U-shaped dinette. I am a big fan of this, folks. So many people for so long have wanted to get away from cloth, right? In RVs. Like, oh, give me leatherette, which is what they did on the sofa. I personally really like cloth. Maybe not so much for a bunk model because, kids, they spill. But if it's like a couples model, I say give me this all day. I love this color. I think they did a great job on the pattern in here. Kudos to them. Storage underneath. Now, they're not on glides or anything. It's just a pick up and pull, which is why you heard that loud bang. And again, it just kind of sits down like so. But these are huge drawers, folks. Massive storage on both sides, which I love that they fully utilize that space. I'd much rather that than have a drawer this big on glides. This table does drop down into a bed, so you have nice big sleeping space there. Plus, you have a tri-fold sofa over to the side. Well, more of a love seat, I should say, right? When there's 2 seats, Aaron, it makes a love seat, right? Yeah. Okay. So we got the love seat right here, and this does, again, fold out, so you can have another person sleep right here. Probably not 2 people unless you're spooning all night, but for 1 person, this is definitely great. And right across from the entertainment center, right to the TV, this right here is probably where you would find me most of the time on a rainy day. Let's make our way up front. Just so you know, if you're ever looking for a fuse panel in this one, that is where it'll be at. So both your 12-volt fuses as well as your 120 breakers. All your controls will be right here, which I like. You can see you have the control panel here. You also have the one control system, so you can control your awning, auto level, things like that right from this touchscreen, which is pretty nice. You have the one control hotspot for Wi-Fi as well as 4G LTE connectivity. If you want that, there will be a separate plan, of course, because it runs off cellular signal, but it does come pre-installed. Making our way inside here. You can see the toilet, foot flush lever toilet with a porcelain bowl. I always like porcelain just because it cleans up so much nicer. I like having a slide door. You'd be surprised in different iterations of people are trying to make different doors to get in and out of the bathroom in an RV so you don't have to play like the door game. Slider doors just make so much sense. It's so simple, so easy, and very effective. As for shower space, plenty of headroom at 6 foot tall, good shoulder space. I can turn around and close the door. I can spin all the way around. That's almost a must-have for me in a fifth wheel because you should definitely have the space for it. Good storage up top, big sink plus countertop space and storage underneath. And we make our way up into the bathroom. You'll see that they use, or the bedroom rather, sorry, we were just in the bathroom. You'll see they use what they call the space saver floor. And what that essentially means is that you don't have the hump that you normally have in, like a mid-profile fifth wheel like this one, right? Like a lot of times you'll have that step up and they eliminate that, which is pretty nice. Now, I can't walk all the way up without hitting my head, so bear that in mind, but I can still get pretty far up there. It does make it a lot easier to get in and out of bed. You have, some storage here on both sides. You have little cubby holes down below, drawers, another shelf up here for wardrobe space. I'm sure you're asking because you're like, Ian, there's no wardrobe space. They actually tucked it in right over here. So yes, they absolutely did give it to you. And you have a really nice spot for a TV, which a lot of times, you don't see it. It'll be like over here on the wall or something, but they put it right there. You can get a swing arm mount, turn it right toward the TV. You'll be good to go. And last but not least, folks, this one is prepped for a second AC. So on a hot day like today, might be good to have that second AC right here in the bedroom, keeping things nice and cool. With the slide closed up, you'll see you do have a nice walkway here, which will allow you to get to the fridge, and voila, you can certainly open it far enough to access anything in the refrigerator as well as the freezer. And of course, because this is a fifth wheel and your bedroom and bathroom are right up front and there's no slides up there, you can get to both of those nice and easy too. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2021 Arctic Wolf 287BH. Starting off right up front here, you have your big, beautiful front cap with LED lights on there, and that's pretty wolf right up front howling at the moon. Underneath that is the Rhino box. This is commonly used when you have the space-saving floor. They're both by LCI and they go hand in hand, which is why it is on here. If you take a look right up front, a couple different things. One is the spare tires, extremely easy to get to. You'll also see the battery disconnect switch in there so you can quickly and easily shut off all the power to this bad boy. At least 12 volt power. And then right up here is the auto level. So again, folks, you can just touch a button and this one will level itself out. Super convenient. Another thing I do want to point out, it's kind of tucked away in there, but there is a solar charge controller for solar. Making our way around to this side. Right here is your garage space. They did a pretty decent job. You'll see that all the plumbing and everything is kind of running up top and then goes behind an access panel, so you don't have a bunch of stuff running straight down, which I like. A couple of motion sensor lights. You have one on either side, which is really cool, plus TV hookup here. And you'll see that they gave you this little guy, which is nice and convenient. So if you want to run those cables outside, you don't have to have your pass-through open to be able to get to the TV. This door, by the way, is a slam latch. And it has a magnetic catch on there, super simple and easy to use. You'll see you get the leash latch system, which is a convenient way to tie up a dog. So that way you don't have to, drive a stake or anything into the ground, especially if you're on like a concrete pad. That makes life super simple. Underneath, this one does have they call it, what do they call it? Armored underbelly. It's essentially a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly. Great thing to have. I don't know that I'd call it super armored. I mean, if there's if it's going to puncture it, it's going to puncture it. It's not, not any different than most other underbellies, but again, it is fully enclosed. It'll keep a lot of dirt and stuff out of there. It'll hopefully keep some rodents out in the off season. And again, because it is insulated, if it's a little bit colder, it'll make sure your tanks and stuff aren't freezing up on you with the forced air. To get inside, this one does use the MORryde step above step system. You'll see this is unique, which I like that they put that in there. MORryde does that for a few different manufacturers. They do it here. I think that's awesome for the Arctic Wolf. And this is something else that really I've only seen on the Cherokee family. I love that they did, and that is a tempered glass door. Folks, this thing looks phenomenal. I can see my reflection, see if I'm looking good. One of the things I really like about it that most people don't realize is actually right here is a window. And you can't really see it outside, but if we open up the door, hey, there it is. So that's one of those small features that I really like. You know, when you walk up to the door, most people probably don't know you have a window, but if someone's knocking on your door, you can see who it is and they have no idea that you can see out. It's kind of a cool safety feature. As for the tires, you get the little, you know, it's mechanical, if you will, pressure monitoring system on there. So if it's green, it's at the correct pressure. Red, you need to put some air in there. Outside water with the spray port. Outside kitchen, which I really like. You know, on this floor plan, it's a little bit tougher to make it work here, but they did. So you get the fridge, also an ice maker, which I love when manufacturers have this because I like to have a few drinks that involve ice, and that right there makes life easy. You also see a wash basin located here. Now again, you know, your water will have to come from here. It's not plumbed or anything. You just take it out and dump it. Then you also have the 2-burner cooktop right there. Propane quick connect underneath. You can see your ground control 3.0, which is your auto level. And then back here, not only do you have the outside kitchen, but take a look at that. You get a ton of extra storage. You know, and again, I like all the extra storage you get here. Anytime you get extra storage is always a good thing. Whoops, taking a step down right there. Watch that step, Aaron. Do not fall. Making our way around to the back. Square tubular bumper. It's a great spot in where you can, in order to hook up your, not hook up, in order to store your water hose, your sewer hose, you can put it right in there. Right on the back, you have this tray. I love this too. This drops down. This can support up to 200 pounds of weight. So not a ton of weight, but it does allow you to do some things like load up some firewood. You can put a cooler on there, again, as long as it's not too terribly heavy. You know, and so I do like the extra storage capability there. Right up top, backup camera, you got to love that. This is, and even though it's not a huge fifth wheel, right, it's still decent size. You want to be able to see behind you. It's nice and tall. A backup camera makes life simple. 50 amp detachable power cord, 50 amp because you have the fireplace plus the prep for the second AC. So you have to have the 50 amp on there. Outside shower on this side with hot water. So if you want hot water access, this will be the side to do it. Coming around down to the termination, you'll notice a couple things here. You have a termination. You will also see your tank valve goes into the underbelly. Why does it do that? Well, because they want to insulate it, right? Because it's one thing to have your tanks insulated, that's awesome, but you want to make sure your valves are insulated too, so that you're not you know, getting the portion of the pipe that's outside of the underbelly freezing, because that can happen. Then you have a frozen valve, and then you get what they call a poopsicle, and that's not a flavor you want, I promise. And then right up here is another termination. Now this one is exposed, so just bear that in mind. So again, if you plan on doing winter camping, there's a few things you would have to do here, but that back one is going to be good to go. Last couple things I want to touch on, folks. You have your basically all your plug-ins right here. So you'll have your city water inlet, your fresh tank inlet, black tank flush, just super handy. Cable and satellite will be up there too, plus a light making it nice and easy. And of course, access to the other side, plus your second propane tank. You have one 20-pounder on that side, one 20-pounder on this side. If you want 30s, this is big enough. It will support a 30-pound tank in there. And again, folks, that pretty much wraps it up. This right here is a 2021 Arctic Wolf 287BH. It's an awesome family floor plan. If you're interested in this one and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.